Hello everyone. So today is 14th of July and it's almost quarter past 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm planning to do call on the key earnings this week. And the agenda is we'll go through the economic calendar, we'll go through markets, and then we'll go through probability maps and earning calendar. So let's go to what is on the economic calendar tomorrow. So we have PPI, we have Fed chair testifying, second testimony. So he's going to testify in front of the semi-annual monetary policy report before the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs in Washington. Right? So that's what we have. We had the one testimony today and then followed by another one tomorrow. And we have core retail sales. We have retail sales on Thursday. And Friday, we have University of Michigan consumer sentiments and inflation now. Now, I did one article today. If you had a chance, if you haven't seen it, just go to investing.com, search for Ali Merchant, or go to investing.com, search for most popular stories, and you will find me somewhere here. Okay? So this week is full of Fed chair testimony, geopolitical situation, and busy earning weeks. Now, U.S. consumer CPI, consumer inflation cooled in June. That's why we see in market moving a little bit higher today. And what we have seen, the headline CPI fell to 0.4% month over month, the biggest monthly drop since April 2020, while core CPI, ex food and energy, was flat at 0.2% rise in May versus economists' expectation of 0.1% decline and 0.3% core gain. So you can find the highlights here, and then you can see some of the earnings I haven't talked about. IBM plunge in pre-market, right? U.S. economic data, economic calendar for the week. And then we have earnings and probability maps, right? So what we will do is now let's go to the earning calendar. Now, on the earning calendar, we have ASML tomorrow, financial institutions like BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, PNC Bank, Johnson Johnson, United Airlines, United Healthcare. So United Airlines aftermarket tomorrow. And then we have United Healthcare. Taiwan Semiconductor is going to be an interesting one, Netflix, and all those in the week, like from Wednesday to Friday. Let's look at the probability map. So what is the probability map suggesting? So now, guys, my name is Ali Merchant. I am the founder of TWJ Learning, and this is, I have created these probability maps. Right? So probability map for today, yesterday and today was bullish. Yesterday, I think it did not go as per expected, as per the expectation. So tomorrow is going to be mixed and mixed to bearish on Thursday and bullish on Friday. Now, I am the founder of TWJ Learning. I provide research, trading ideas, trainings on high probability trade setups. My probability trade setups are correct between 80 to 90% of the time. And these are my website. Go to my website, go to the testimonials and see the testimonials. Follow me on Twitter if you are not. And here we are on the YouTube. Now, what is this week? So historically, July has been strong since 2007. Dow Jones in the month of July goes higher by 2.32%, 85% of the time. And since 2007, NASDAQ up 3.11%, 75% of the time in July. And S&P 2.4% average in 75% of the time from start of July to end of July. So that's what it is. If you're not following me on Twitter, please do. Okay, so let's go to the markets. So let's look at the futures. NASDAQ futures, right now it's 29,901. And it has a strong obstacle around 29,970 and say 30K, sorry, 30,000, 30K. Yes, 30K. So somewhere around that. And as long as this trend line is holding on the upside, let's see if it can break tomorrow after the ASML earnings. Right? So ASML earnings will have impact on AI and semiconductor sector. Let's go. Let's look at S&P futures. S&P futures 7612 is the key resistance. Maybe a little bit higher, 72. I think all-time high so far is 7648. Maybe a little bit higher to 7648. Right? So let's see if it can break. This week is going to be key because we have ASML and then Taiwan Semiconductor on Thursday before market. VIX volatility index still hovering around 16.5 at the lower end. That means low volatility and market can break higher. There is a probability that market can break higher. Again, it's a probability. Right? Let's look at QQQ, the Nasdaq ETF. It has room to go higher to 735, 736. If it breaks this, then we can see continuation. If it does not, then we have seen choppy range. Same thing with SPY, S&P ETF. It has room to go to hit this line, which is 754. And we have to see if it breaks. Right? If it doesn't break, then probably we're still going to chop for a bit. Now let's go through some of the key earnings, and I'll highlight some of the things which I'm seeing on the charts. ASML moves higher, consolidate, breaks, moves higher. Again, nice run. Breakout of the trend line, moves higher. We are at the situation where if we are able to break, I would say, let's see. So we are above this trend line in the overnight market, right? So if we manage to remain above 1810, 1820, we may see a good run to the upside. Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is like it failed to break 230, though we have seen a high today, 232, but we came back into the range. So let's see if it can break 230, the high what we have seen today, 232.11. We break, then we have room to the upside. Johnson & Johnson. Same thing, goes higher, consolidates, break the trend line, goes higher, consolidates, breaks the trend line. We have a similar situation. If we can break 256 before earning or post earning. And the earnings are on, I think, Johnson & Johnson is, okay, 1 second. Yeah, sorry, tomorrow. Pre-market, I thought it was on Thursday. So tomorrow pre-market. All right. After Johnson & Johnson, we have United Healthcare. This one is weekly resistance, long-term weekly resistance at 440. If we are able to hold 420, 418 on the downside, because the earning volatility, it can go a little bit. It may break the trend line, but let's see where it closes. So 420, 425 on the downside. If we hold, we can see 440 easily. And United Healthcare is on Thursday pre-market. Yeah, so it's on Thursday pre-market. Let's go. Now, Taiwan Semiconductor, where everybody's eyeing, so everybody's looking at it. What I can see is Taiwan Semiconductor has broken this uptrend. Right? Now, the key is whether we go above 436 and 444, so we break 445 pre or post market, then there's a probability that we may go back to 450s 480 is what we have seen, right? If we don't, then we are coming down to at least 390, 380 to fill this gap. G, similarly, it has broken the trend line, right? We need to either reclaim 365, 364 on the top upside. Otherwise, 340 gap is our target. So this is 342, 330. So from 335 to 342. So somewhere between 340 to 335 is the target. So Abbott Lab, ABT, same thing. We have broken the trend line. Okay. Either we reclaim 91, 92 pre or post earning, or we are going down. That means if we don't reclaim, we're going down. Netflix will be another interesting earnings. Now, Netflix is a very strong weekly support at 68. And on the upside, it has a resistance around 75, 76. If we go above beyond this resistance, probably we'll see some more rise in Netflix. However, failure to break this one can bring us down to 68. So it was a short and sweet earnings call, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Thank you very much for your time, and have a nice trading week.